you?
Fine.
Yeah.
Early, but fine. Early, but fine.
Hurting. From that night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Continues.
So, you know.
Who are you again?
Alberta. So.
We, her grandmother, my mother-in-law, is, related to Pulovas. Nabi Pulovas, the Isaacs, and Isaacs.
Yes. Guy is from, right here, second.
Yeah.
Yep. So, family. So, before we get started, I wanted to ask you if you would be okay if I would record
Yes.
this.
Yeah, same here. It's okay. We'll record it.
So I'm just gonna do an audio
Okay.
recording. Okay. So my name is Alberta Pukahi, captain with Campus Security. I'm hoping everybody can identify themselves in the room.
Ben Jay, Director of Athletics.
Officer Brian Nagata.
Ilani McShane.
Henry McShane.
Okay, good. So, Mr. McShane, I guess today we just kind of wanted to, get your side of the events of what took place the other night at the game. So, I guess that's kind of what we wanted to get here today, and just kind of wanted to meet with you.
I came because, I'm the oldest of the children of my dad, and I just came out of concern for him. I wasn't at the game that night, but he called me on the way home from the game and told me what happened, and
What was the first thing I told you?
The first thing he told me was that I got mobbed, and I flipped that because that, for one, is very out of the character for my dad.
What did you say? I said I got mobbed. She goes, Dad. I went, what? She goes, Dad, you got mobbed? I said, I got mobbed. Ilani.
I couldn't believe it because that's out of character completely from how my dad is. So I knew something had to happen for something like that to occur. So he came home that night. It didn't show right away, but the next day he had bumps, bruises all up and down his back. So I don't want to look at that kind of stuff because it makes me upset, especially because my dad's been a fan of UH for years and goes to countless games: softball, basketball, volleyball, football. My brother attended here, graduated here. I attended here, so it's UH is like our home school, So it's been disheartening to know that what happened. The reason why we felt it. Well, thanks for your time first for coming, because I know it's not always this is not. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So it's just not a good timing, but we just wanted to just set the story straight. The thing that made us most upset and what we want answers for is why is it that my dad's photo was posted as if he was a criminal? He was a fan, but there's Heckler, the person that caused the fight. It went national. Instigator. My brother lives in New Zealand. He called us to tell us about it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's on TV. He's like, it's on TV. And I just flipped through the channels. Every single channel was my dad's photo. And was it a good photo? No. So having a photo up there and with the statement of nobody's trying to contact us was not right.
Well, we didn't know who we were, for one.
Right. But having that nobody tried to contact was not right, because you did try to contact them on Friday. Then you said you left the message for my dad on Friday.
No, I left a message on Monday.
On Monday, right? So Friday we got the message.
But Friday I talked to Lee, I think?
No, you talked to Jeannie, my assistant.
Jeannie.
Jeannie, there you go, Jeannie. I talked to Jeannie, I said, you know that game where they had the Montagnard fans and a one Rage fan? She goes, yes. I said, I'm the fan. She goes, you are? I said, yes, I am. And I said, I want to speak to Mr. J. And she said, oh, he's not in. I said, oh, yeah, he's at home. But I said, I thought he was working from home. She said, oh, he won't be in the office too. I said, but I thought he was working from home. I'm calling, he should be working. I should get it. I said, no. So I told her part of my story, why I'm calling. I said, so I knew he went in, came out on Tuesday. I know he mentioned that he's going to be at home, working from home. And so, it's never happened to me. So I didn't know the protocol. Yeah. And I didn't know that I didn't know anything. I just said, I went to work. That was Sunday night. I went to work Monday with the pain and all. But if I went to the doctors, I'd be just like him. They wouldn't have met them to go to work. And I need to go to work. So I went to work. At work, I drive a week, we go up to the landfill. At the landfill, I pissed on the ground, I pissed blood. So I knew my kidney was bruised. Yeah. So I just took it easy, drank a lot of water. At work, I got a lot of water. I drink a lot of water, I do have gout. Yeah. And so that's why when I called her, I told her I drive a rig. And if you can call me anytime after 3, because I can't pull over the side of the road with my rig. And I don't want to, because I'm driving, right? So that's why I told her.
Mm-hmm.
So the next person I spoke to was Marion.
Marion.
Called her.
Yeah.
And I talked to her through my phone one day. And what I explained to her when what happened, I was at the game. I told her from the beginning. I went to the box office, purchased a ticket, went to the door, no ticket. I thought I lost the ticket. Finally, I went back to the window and I should have went home right there. He goes, sorry, uncle, forgot to give you a ticket. So I got the ticket. Went to the door, went in. I seen Golgara and Alva was playing. I said, oh man, I gotta listen to them. So I sat behind the bench with the rest of the Alva family and the Golgara family. I don't know them personally, but I know they're from Carolina, and I remember them from high school, the two girls. And I loved the way they played. So I showed them on, took pictures. I took pictures with the whole team and families all together. I took pictures. I sat back down there. West Virginia came out there. I'm sitting on the bench. I didn't move. I was too lazy to move. Because where I was sitting, where I wanted to sit there was already crowded behind the bench. So I stayed there. So during the game, I
Get into it.
I got into it, to the game, yeah. I know basketball, and I knew the defense that West Virginia was running, and the offense they were running. They were running, they call it, all they used to call it UCLA blackout. So I knew that the offense. So in Hawaii was the defense. I was calling out. Block out, back door. They was trying to get Alva to come out. The big girl wanted her to come out, and the back door would come around. So I screamed a couple of back doors. They missed it, but after that, every time I said back door, Jackson turned around. She turned around, and they caught her, So I know that was kind of irritating for the fans, but I was yelling it, So, but then when they had a foul on them, the coach was going off. So somebody in the back was going, cry, baby, cry. And so I got followed. I said, hey, coach, you crying again. You crying. That's all I said. I want to talk to him, and I said, coach, you crying again, coach. Come on, you crying. And I didn't watch the whole game, but through the game, I did. Every time
But that's
you-
not, that's just getting into the game. I've been to how many NBA, NFL games, that's just how it is, so it's not anything
But I
wrong.
never yelled anything else to the girls.
There's no
Or
racial,
how he coaches.
nothing.
Oh, how he coaches. I didn't say, Coach, what are you doing? I didn't say nothing. He's not my coach. She's on the other side. So, but every time there was a foul, he was ranting off, and I would say, oh, Coach, you're crying again. Come on, Coach. And then the other two stood up, and I said, hey, one coach at a time, sit down, the other two coaches. And he turned around and he yelled at the two coaches to sit down. Sit down. And then he looked at me, he shook his head. So I know I was getting in his head. But nothing else was said to, and if it did, he would complain. He never complained. And like I said, Shay, she's one of the staff. I remember her name, Shaay. She one of the staff, and where I was sitting, her head was by me, where she was standing. And she was the whole time there. And I never referred anything to the fan or to the bench. It was always to him or to the girls on the hall. Yelling out plays and back door. But the fans was yelling things at me. Every time we missed a layup, they go, well, you guys can't even lay up. And I was an old man. I said, Pops, you know that. I know that. We got to work on that. That's what I was doing. I said, we got to work on our free throws and our layups. And so one time I spoke to him. And then we airball one free throw. And then the guys in the front, he had kids. And they all took to me and go, airball. So I said, airball. You got it. You're right. Airball. And that's how it was going. It was no indication of anything. They never swore. I never swore. I never said anything racial. I know better than that. It's not my game. And it's not what they call about heckling. It's not really heckling. I didn't heckle. But it's not that what they got upset about. And I know what I got under the skin. But when the game was done, did I hear it from them? They all, even the guy in the back was drinking, they all got up and, yeah, you guys lost, you guys are losers, everything. And I was doing this. You got me. Yakshay, she was there. I said, you got me. And then they kept yelling, and somebody said, you guys shouldn't even be on a map. I took that as athletically, you know, our football team, and, you know, we lose it. I took that as athletic. They didn't explain themselves, but I didn't think they meant Hawaii should just vanish. So, I remember the Hawaii coach in the newspaper saying, it should be fun playing against the Big 12 because of competition. So I was standing up and I said, wait a minute. I said, the Big 12 is in the house. The Big 12. And some more Hawaii. The Big 12 at 3 points. I said, and I was crying, oh my goodness, 3 points. And then that's when our Hawaii girls was walking around high-fiving the fans. So Shauna Day was the last one. She was loosening her braces on her hand. She was the last one. So I was trying to get her a picture. Okay? And then somebody in the back said, Uncle, the coach talking to you. And he was looking at me and said, bro, come down here and say that. And I said, he got next to me. He goes, about Big 12. Oh, Big 12? He goes, yeah. I said, the Big 12? You want me to come down there? You mad at me because I said you don't belong in the Big 12? Because they said I don't belong on the map. I said, you guys don't belong in the Big 12. And they were, oh, we 3-0. I said, in Hawaii? In Hawaii, you 3-0. You beat the, oh no, you beat the chief. So I was getting, I was doing that kind of stuff.